Thank you. Appreciate the compliments, guys. Yes, it is a 1911 slide. I'm not a fan of how this one's set up. Thank you again, guys. If you're just tuning in, we're just adding some shading to a 1911 slide. We have engraved most of it. We're just adding the shade lines. We're trying not to add too many. This is a bright cut, so we want to be able to see the actual shade lines as it adds some nice glint and beauty to it. Appreciate it, guys. If you're just tuning in, we are just engraving a 1911 Gold Cup National Match slide. This has been hand engraved, hand designed, hand drawn. Sometimes I do laser stuff. This one has not been lasered at all, so this is all by hand. And this is a bright cut style, so we're going to try to keep it as bright as possible, basically glinting. So we're doing some deep cuts, basically giving it what I say is like that bling factor. Still a very functional piece of art at the end of the day. But we're trying to make it look as nice as possible. Appreciate it, Jason. Thank you, thank you. If you guys are tuning in, like I said, we're hand engraving a 1911 slide. I appreciate any subscriptions, some newer YouTubers, so this helps out. Every single person helps out. I appreciate it. So as far as the steel, honestly, this one is a blued one. So this is a non-stainless steel. And I like to do non-stainless steel because it actually comes out a lot brighter. Stainless steel is super hard to bright cut, and it usually doesn't come out as nice as I'd like it to. But usually, if I remember right, it's just like some sort of mild steel, maybe, you know, maybe a high carbon steel. I'm guessing it's just a high carbon steel that usually bright cuts. So I'm not sure if it's 5160, 1080, or just mild steel at the end of the day. It's whatever the Colt factory decides to make it out of. I haven't really, I should probably do more research on it, but I just have not. I just know that they do cut nicely. Jason, I'm in Idaho. Let's see. McDude. Yeah, they do go dull pretty often, at least for what I would like. You have to keep polishing them, so the edges have to be extremely sharp, razor sharp, and polished. If for whatever reason they go dull, you can usually tell in your cuts, and you just gotta you gotta repolish, resharpen. If it's stainless steel tends to chip my gravers, and it does suck. Come on, lay down. Lay down. Lay down, bud. Stay. Sorry, guys, I had to let my dog in. Just joining us. Jay, yes, it is a Gold Cup 1911 slide. All right, sorry guys, I'm gonna tighten this thing up. It's getting a little loose, a little annoying for me. Let's go ahead and just gotta tighten it real fast, guys. It shouldn't take very long. There we go. Just causing issues, but we're set and ready. Let's get back to it. Oh, that's the other side. You guys can kind of see we've gotten some of the shading done there. We're just working on this side. So if you're just tuning in, guys, we are engraving this Gold Cup slide, just hand engraving. I like to show what I do, my art form. This is how I got into it, as I love art. And it's just been something that's kind of taken off. I enjoy it, so I appreciate any subscriptions. Go, good, nice, bright cut. Pancho, no puedo platicar de precios en YouTube porque they flag me, como se dice, que me cancelan aquí. Pero si quiere, está interesado, mándame un mensaje en Instagram. es Tío Lalo 208 o Mountain River Design, cualquiera. Well, what I was saying, guys, is that I actually can't talk about pricing on YouTube when it comes to gun stuff. So if you guys are interested ever in some of these pieces, you do have to hit me up on some sort of messenger. You can go find me on Instagram, Mountain River Design, or Tío Lalo 208, or 208, sorry. Appreciate the compliments, guys. You know, I always wonder if I have any other hand engravers on here, because I really do like constructive criticism. My stuff is not perfect by any means. Go ahead and show you guys what it looks like under the microscope. Hopefully that helps give you guys an idea of what I'm looking through. And this will hopefully give you an idea of what it looks like when you are hand engraving. We're going to go ahead and add some shading here. I want to leave this open, so we're going to just add it right here. Jason, appreciate it. Yeah, I do laser engraved stuff, you know, for people that can't quite afford the hand engraved. Still comes out nice looking. But yeah, I absolutely love hand engraving. Appreciate it, Almas. Thank you, thank you. let's see what we got here. So we're going to add some shading here to kind of give it a curvature. Guys, if you're just tuning in, I appreciate your subscription. We're just hand engraving a 1911 slide. Go. Set. We'll add some shading here just to accent it. And as far as the micro scratches, guys, don't worry too much about those. Those will get slightly polished. Well, they'll get polished out in the final buff and polish. We are not going to polish and buff too much just because we don't want to cut into the engravings themselves. But we do give it a nice little buff, and that takes care of most of the micro scratches, as well as the nickel plate can kind of fill in the microscopic micro scratches. Go. Set. Awesome. So this is the factory engraving. This is all obviously, like, they come laser engraved. This one's, you can tell it's not stamped, but you can tell just how deep we're going versus what the factory engravings are. Josie, as far as engraving with a rotary tool, I would stay away from it. I use rotaries usually to clean stuff up, and I actually do the rotary portion for the background, like the stippling. But everything else is just does not cut cleanly. I would say either get into hand push or hammer and chisel is your best bet to really learn how to hand engrave. Rotary tools, they just don't cut bright cuts, and they don't cut nicely. Not saying that you can't do it. It's just not going to look as good. And you're still going to be investing anywhere from $500 to $1,000 in a very, very nice rotary tool that doesn't drag. What I mean by that is, let me go ahead and show you. So I've got this rotary tool right here. This is the one I use. So this one, when I'm stippling, this one runs at like 26,000 RPMs, and 26,000 RPMs is super fast, and it doesn't drag. So as soon as I touch it down, it doesn't like want to pull. If you get anything cheap, like from Harbor Freight, anything like that, those tend to pull, and you end up making a bunch of mistakes. So like I said, invest in a hammer and a chisel, and you can do some beautiful work. I would say if you're going to look for the pneumatic stuff, go to GRS. GRS sells some very affordable setups, as well as Steve Lindsay. He sells some awesome setups for beginners. It's just the Steve Lindsay Classic would suffice to get you started. You're going to be looking at starting out probably about $1,000 for a nice system, but that system will last you. I mean, I know people that have had it for decades and haven't had. If they do have issues, there's very, very good customer support from both those companies. All right, we're gonna go back to the other view, guys. Josie, I mean, honestly, you want a chasing hammer, so I'd say get yourself a flat chasing hammer, something like this right here. That's what you get. And then your chisels, let's see if I have one around here. Your chisels are gonna look something like this right here. You can make them out of high-speed steel, or you can buy them as well. So if you go look up Weldon Lister on Instagram, he is a very, very, very good hand engraver with just hammer and chisel. I mean, he does some beautiful, beautiful work. I can't even compare to him. And I'm using a pneumatic system, so he's just an amazing, amazing engraver. So go check him out. That'll give you an idea of what the setup you'll need to get is. But I know people that have done hammer and chisel that do some amazing work. If you're just tuning in, guys, I appreciate any likes, follows. We're working on 1911 slide. Yeah. Stippling. If you end up using this a lot and you have to clean it, it can suck. I do suggest just using so acetone works really, really good for cleaning these. And usually the metals are hard enough that if you take a soft bristle brush, like a soft toothbrush to it, it should clean everything out, and then you just oil everything and you're back to normal. But if you don't use that, yeah, it can definitely suck. Most people that buy these, though, tend to not use them very often. We do have a frame. The frame is nowhere near as done. This is painted. I painted it, and then we basically draw on it, get it set out. Like I said, we're not even close to being done with it, so I've been working on this right here. We've got many, many more hours, my friends. many more hours on this. We've got to polish this up. I'm starting to run into issues with the sharpening, so let me go ahead and get this sharpened up real fast, guys. It'll take me just a second. Sweet. We are sharp. Again, we can bright cut. Pancho, no nos quedan débil por lo que se diga. La fuerza de todo no sale. Es aquí, ¿sabes? La fuerza es en el barril. En el carro no hay mucha fuerza que se disponga. Just looking to see where we're at, guys. Okay, right here. We're going to go ahead and work on this portion. This portion right there, this one I am going to outline a little bit just because it's a bigger shade portion. And I don't want to screw it up. I think we can fit 1, 2, 3. 3 shade lines in there, so that's what we're going to go for. Start back here. I think we can fit more than 3 shade lines, actually. Looking at this, and I can... Sit there. Go. It's nice right there. Javier75, no puedo platicar de precios en YouTube sobre partes de armas o armas porque se lo cancelan. Pero si quiere mandarme un mensaje en Instagram, Tío Lalo 208, ahí le puedo platicar un poco. También en Mountain River Design, si quiere. Let's see. Johnny, I am located in Idaho, here in the U.S. Joseph, I'm not sure quite how long this will take. Right now, I'm into it about, I'd say, probably 45, 50 hours. So I'm going to guess by the end of it, it'll take me 150 hours to complete it, everything. Appreciate it, Dylan. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, the Johnsons. Appreciate it. If you're just tuning in, please feel free to subscribe, guys. The Johnsons, what's your YouTube channel about? It all depends on what it's about before I shout somebody out. Is it a good YouTube channel? Appreciate it, James. Thank you, thank you. Mr. Hit, yep, I do. Yeah, hand engraving is just a little bit more. It's quite a bit more. It just depends. Just labor intensive at the end of the day. So the art form just takes a while. So for laser, I charge. It usually comes out to about a third of the cost, to be honest. It still takes time to design, draw it up, get everything set, and then execute it, and then obviously the polishing as far as that goes. Mr. Hits, as far as like hand engraving goes versus like laser, it just depends on your artist. So most people that laser engrave, truthfully, they just buy pre-made templates from like Etsy. You can go on Etsy and buy pre-made templates and just use those. I'm different in the fact that I actually custom draw everything, design everything. I love the art form and the media itself. So I try to make designs that fit for laser and look good with the laser engrave versus hand engraving is just kind of different. And I'd like to say I could compare them directly to each other, but you can't. They're just different at the end of the day. Let me go ahead and show you. This is a laser engraved one right here. Looks good. This one is hybrid engraved, and that's why it's so bright. So what I've done is I go back in with an actual hand engraver and re-engrave everything so it looks almost like hand engraved, but it has the quote-unquote perfection of the laser in and of itself and the accuracy. But this one, I just like the hand engraving. Like I said, it's just an art form that I really enjoy and love. Mark, the old STI Spartan. And I just, STIs, you know, now that they're staccato and stuff, they have some awesome stuff. I've seen Iron Monkey freshens their staccatos up pretty nicely. All right, we're coming up on the hour, guys. I usually just try to do a live for an hour. That way I don't get sick of doing this in engraving. So if you haven't subscribed, I appreciate the subscriptions. Thank you again for the support. This is just kind of like my art form and how I like to relax at the end of the day, honestly. And I'm glad you guys are joining me. Sorry, guys, how to angle it differently on this one. Awesome, guys. Thank you again for joining in. Let me just go ahead and answer a few last-second questions. Something like this, cost-wise, I can't actually talk about cost when it comes to gun due to YouTube policy and procedures. So if it's something that you're really interested in, feel free to hit me up on Instagram, Mountain River Design, or Tío Lalo 208. Again, thank you guys for joining in. Thank you for the support. And if you guys need anything as far as questions go, feel free to reach out. Until then, keep hand engraving, guys, whether it's this, obviously, this you have to have an FFL, but if you guys want to engrave coins, want to engrave lighters, I try to do it all. So here's just a practice plate. Grab some random metal, hand engrave, test it out, guys. Thanks again, and until next time, peace.